Michael Govier. You are connected with the FTN Network YouTube channel. This is the baseball show, week 13. Michael Govier talks fantasy baseball. Do you like fantasy baseball? Well, you're in the right spot. Let's see what's going on for the coming week 13, moving out of 12. Man, Shohei Ohtani's had a great week this week. There's been Justin Turner sightings. Good to see as well. A lot of excitement. I'll give you 2-star pitching streamers and some hitter ads for this week, just like I do every week. I'm always here for you every Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live. Take advantage of the live chat while I'm here. I mean, what are you doing? Why are you here? If you're just going to listen, take it up a notch. Engage, connect. Let's talk it out. Let's ask some questions. I'm here to help you. Don't forget FTN Fantasy Rules. It's so awesome. Vlad Sedler's Fab article is live right now. I just got a peek at it. Oh, mwah! Looks real good. Real nice, Clark. Real nice. So I'm excited about that. And if you are a subscriber, you can get access to it too. If you want a free article, try my article every Tuesday. It's a fantasy baseball roundup. It's a complement to this video. Groovin With Govier every Tuesday, live on ftnfantasy.com. All right, let's take a look at the 2-star. Oh, we got a comment already. That's new. That's fresh. Chad's here. It's a Govier Bonanza. Hey, Chad, thanks so much. Pleasure to see you, my friend. Chad, any tips for the coming week in terms of hitter ads? Because we're talking streaming pitchers first. Let me give you some 2-star streamers. You tell me what you think of this. Tell me if I'm crazy. If I've lost it, do I not know what I'm talking about anymore? It's very possible. I have no idea, but I still feel like I do. So here it is. These are my 2-star streaming pitcher recommendations for the coming week. I got Ranger Suarez at the top. He's got Atlanta and the Mets at home. Those are nice matchups. I know Atlanta's really good. I understand that. But in terms of the available options, because remember, we're talking streamers here, folks. Remember that. It's important. That's probably as good as it gets this week for me. Chad says, for 2-star streamers, we should start with your clothing choice and go Matt Boyd. Chad says, I love the Daniel Lynch call. Yeah, so do I. Thanks, Chad. I got Daniel Lynch here at the bottom. He's got Detroit and Tampa Bay on the road this week. Daniel Lynch has been pretty decent since he's come back from injury to play this year. Now, some starts are better than others. I mean, the start at Baltimore he had recently, it wasn't dominant. Obviously, it wasn't overly powerful in terms of Ks. But I'm looking for a lot of things. I'm looking for wins. I'm trying to keep the ratios down. And if you're looking for streamers that can give you Ks, you want to look for more one-off plays. When it comes to pitching streamers anyways, right? Because 2-star streamers, we got to take on both matchups. You're looking for volume, I assume, and you're trying to get multiple wins in a week in a head-to-head matchup. And that's what it's all about with 2-star pitchers. Head-to-head matchups are where you can really take advantage by using 2-star streamers. So I like these offerings I have given you. Garrett Whitlock, Johan Oviedo, Aaron Savale, Cleveland. This might be the best matchups there is Savale with Oakland and Milwaukee at home. I admit that freely. Garrett Whitlock struck out 7 in his last start, and he's got Minnesota and Chicago on the road. That's probably the next closest choice for me in terms of best matchups. But, you know, I'm just a guy doing a show here. What do I know? Chad says Savale was my number 2 and Whitlock was my number 3, but the one I can't do is to trust Mr. Oviedo. Well, that's fair. That's a little bit more risky for me because I know he's so inconsistent. I like the matchups. I still think there's some opportunities for Oviedo to exploit his opportunities next week. But it's not my favorite choice either. It would probably be 4 or 5 of those 5 that I've listed here. Oviedo is probably the guy that I'm least excited about. Yeah, I would say that. That's fair. But I'm just trying to give you variable options depending on how many players are available in your leagues, rosters, tiny bench, big bench, too many IL spots. You know, it all depends on the league context. 12-team, 10-team, 15-teamers. So I'm trying to give an option that covers a range of multiple different sizes of fantasy baseball leagues. And there you go. Those are my 2-star streamers for the week. Coming up in week number 13. I'm Michael Govier. Follow me on Twitter, MJ Govier. We're live here. You can be like Chad, jump in the live chat while we're doing this right quick. I'm going to get in, get out with my life soon. So while I'm here, it's a wonderful opportunity to talk to me about your, challenges for the coming week. And if this is being done in replay form later on, you can drop a comment on the YouTube video, and I'll try to get back to you if you have a question for week 13 in fantasy baseball. All right, here's some hitter options. These are guys that I think you should consider adding for the coming week. Adding right now, really, Bo Naylor's going to be hot. He's the catching prospect for Cleveland that finally got called up for good because they finally kicked Mike Zunino to the curb. I mean, good God in heaven. I know all about being stubborn. I've been around for a long time. I've been a very stubborn man in my life. I've also been a very flexible and patient man in my life. But Mike Zunino is a veteran bat, a lot of power. He showed a tremendous, what I would say was probably the best version ever you'll ever get of Mike Zunino a couple years ago when he cranked a bunch of dongs for Tampa. But that was more fluky. That's just not consistent with him because he whiffs so much. And we might be looking at the end of Zunino, frankly. I don't want to call it like that, but it could be over. Chad says, for hitters, by the way, Donovan Solano is red hot right now, and Bo Naylor just got called up. Both are undervalued and under-rostered. So that's correct. That's why both are on my list. You read my mind, Chad. It's like you know what you're talking about as well. He does. I got Solano on here. Solano's a guy that he'll be in and out of the lineup, but he's always making contact. He doesn't have a lot of power. The power he's shown, he's got 2 home runs over the last 7 days. That's not Solano. He's a guy who hits for average, but he's been hitting at the top of the lineup for Minnesota too at times. They like him up there. And he's playing every day lately. So you got to ride it. You got to take advantage of Solano while you can. Do it. Do it now. What are you waiting for? And, of course, I've got some of the hot prospect names besides Bo Naylor. Samad Taylor finally got called up for the Royals. He's starting today and playing. He's a speedster. He's a really talented guy. Samad Taylor can give you some power, a little bit of power, but definitely a lot of speed and some average for sure. Is he better than Michael Garcia of Kansas City? I think Samad Taylor is better than Michael Garcia. And if you're looking at it from that perspective, saying, boy, I did the Michael Garcia thing and I haven't loved it. I mean, he's been fine. There's just no power with Garcia. I think Samad Taylor has more power to offer, and that's the key difference. So if you're looking for a little bit more pop and definitely want some steals, Samad Taylor, I think he's going to be a factor for sure the rest of the way in MLB. And you want to have Samad Taylor added to your roster because you need help. You do. You need a hitter you can trust. Samad Taylor will have rookie challenges because every rookie has it. That's the implied consent of playing baseball as a hitter. Slumps galore, right? But I'm excited about Samad Taylor's arrival here, and I'm glad he finally got the call. Chad says Jacob Amaya is a very interesting one for me, but we need to see what the role will be. Okay, that's fair. That's a solid call. I'm looking at guys that I think could be added now across 10, 12, 14, 15 teamers, and it's got enough balance. I'm not trying to go too deep, but I'm not trying to be too shallow either. But that's a good call, not Amaya. I got Matt Vierling on here. There's a couple Tigers hitters who have hit pretty well over the last 7 days. I could have put Spencer Torkelson on here. He's shown some pop lately. He's still 18% rostered in Yahoo leagues. But I decided to go with Matt Vierling, who came back off the IL, and he's been playing well. And he's got a good eye. He's got patience. Christopher Morel's on here. He's still under 70% rostered on Yahoo, so that's the only reason I put him on here is there's still 30% of leagues that could add Morel, and you should do that because, yes, he was super, super hot a while ago, got cold, but that's the game. You get hot, you get cold, you come back. He's got more than I think some of us gave credit to Morel for having, not just being a guy who could be all or nothing. Hey, power streak, 8 home runs in 10 games, and then strike out 37% of the time for a while. That's going to happen with Morel, but I think there's going to be more nuggets of quality fantasy output that you can take advantage of. And that's why Morel should be rostered universally, without a doubt. Rupert Henley is here. Oh, my God. What's up, Rupert Henley? Good to see you. Hey, Michael, next weekend the Cubs and the Cards play too at the London Stadium. I'm glad you brought this up, Rupert. In 2019, the same venue, the Yankees and the Red Sox combined for 50 runs. Start your bats and sit your arms. Rupert, that makes all the sense in the world. I completely concur with you. Will it be as crazy as the Mexico City series we saw was between the Giants and the Padres recently? I'm not sure about that. The first game of that series is only a 2-game series, by the way. Not that Mexico City is London, but let's cut the crap. We know that baseball wants to put on a show for these special events, and people make conspiracy theory recommendations about the juicy ball being brought out for these special occasions. And it doesn't seem to be that conspiratorial. Seems like that's what they do. They want to put on a show, a lot of home runs. The first game in the Mexico City game this year was 11 home runs combined in that game, I think. It was incredible. And then the second game was 6-4. It was a much more tame game. Why would that happen? I mean, the elevation didn't change for both games, did it? I'm just saying. But that's a good call, Rupert. Definitely be aware of that situation, the London game. I think you want to be really careful if you got any of your pitchers starting up. Remember, again, it is the Cubs and the Cardinals. And the Cardinals pitching already stinks. I'm not a big fan of it at all. But guys like Justin Steele, who just came back for the Cubs, he pitched today, and it's the first start back. I dismiss that. But I also might sit Steele if he happens to be involved in next weekend's games in London. That would be something I'd be scared of. I really, really would. Hey, Ben Schatz here says, eat 'em up, Tigers. Eat 'em up, Tigers. Eat 'em up. Yeah, Ben. Hey, that's my guy. Nice job. Chad says, I think if they added a ham sandwich on Yahoo and gave it a shortstop eligibility, people would add it. Zing! Nice job, Chad. That's a good one. I'm glad Rupert brought up that series. Don't forget, Cards and Cubs in London. Balls will be flying out of the park. Arenado and Goldschmidt and Christopher Morel, he'll be cranking dongs for sure, too. Cody Bellinger's back. There's a lot of opportunity for tons of offense in that London showdown. Okay, real quick, and I'm getting out of here, guys. That's it. That was in. I'm so glad we had some people jump in the live chat, though. We had a nice connection here. We talked about some legitimate things. You guys brought up some great points for the coming week. Thank you for doing that. That's what this show's for. Engage, connect, talk, learn, grow, expand our horizons in fantasy baseball. So there it is one more time. Luis Matos is the hot name in San Francisco. Mitch Haniger is out for the year. Bye-bye, Mitch. So Luis Matos got the call, and he's going to be on that team going forward. Luis Matos caught fire this year in AAA with power. He has shown an incredible ability in the minors. And I was talking about this on the Palazzo podcast yesterday. The Matos just is really good at making contact. He doesn't strike out a ton. He's not a Christopher Morel type at all. He's not a young slugger who's just going to whiff at 30% while he tries to get it down to 20 one day. No, he's already ahead of the game in that. His highest K percentage in the minors for Luis Matos was 16%. That's really, really good for a youngster like that. So that's exciting. That gives me hope that Matos can thrive. Trust the Giants implicitly. Hey, I drafted Mitch Haniger this year because I thought that Haniger would be the guy who would, his injury history was bad, right? But the Giants are smart. So I figured Mitch Haniger was a smart play. And was it? No, because he got hurt. But anybody can get hurt. I still trust what the Giants do. I'm not going to change. Trust the Giants, their process. Farhan Zahidi is a smart dude, and they just seem to get a lot out of their hitters, more than we expect at times. So I'm not going to change my process there, even though good old Mitch. Hey, Mitch! Mitch got hurt, and he's gone. Ben says, wait, what? I just got here. Oh, Ben, it's a quick show. We're on for almost 15 minutes already now. It's a 15-minute, take a look, get in, get out, move on. I'm giving you hitters. I'm giving you pitchers for the coming week. And if you have another question, I'll answer it. But if there are no further questions, we will wrap this show up. Chad says, I have another ad for you for the upcoming week. Mike Stefanik, who has taken the lineup spot of the injured Gio Urshela. Urshela has a hip issue. He's out. He's going to be out for a while. Has been a solid, if not unspectacular hitter his whole career. Interesting. Mike Stefanik. That's a nice call. Well done, Chad. I'm going to throw this one out, too. And I don't know how this might work out. But Trey Cabbage of the Angels has been crushing the ball at AAA this year. He's been smoking the ball all season long. He's 26 years old. He's at AAA. Yes, he plays outfield, but he could play first base. He can play first base. I believe that's possible. Is there a way to get Trey Cabbage up and into the lineup for the Angels sooner than later? Because all hands on deck right now. The Angels are in the hunt. They're hanging tough, and they're in the playoff contention. So think about that, too. Mike Stefanik, okay. But Trey Cabbage is a guy who seems to be a difference maker with his bat. Had some injury concerns last year, lost last season, but he's healthy now. Trey Cabbage, just a name to throw out there. But Chad says Mike Stefanik, so maybe that's the right call, too. But yeah, Gio Urshela, it's not looking good. That's bad news for him. And the Angels need hitters. They do. They don't want to call David Fletcher up again, do they? Is that the guy they want? Hey, David Fletcher, come on back. Give us your completely empty batting average with no power whatsoever. It's no offense to David Fletcher. He is who he is. It's not his fault. I don't blame him. All right, well, there it is. That's the show. I hope you guys got something out of this. Again, if you have questions, you can go to the comments here, drop the comment, and I'll try to answer them. If you want to take it up a notch, though, ftnfantasy.com, sign up for our subs, and you get full access to our Discord. You can talk to me, Vlad Sedler, Matty Davis, Adam and Eric Cross. Yeah, Chris Meany. We got a lot of people who know what they're doing here. And that Discord is worth the subscription alone, I think, especially if you have fantasy baseball questions all week long. Rosters, start sits, trade reviews, all of those things and more. It's available to you, ftnfantasy.com. All right, thanks everybody for watching. You guys in the live chat, I really appreciate that. Chad says that I agree with Cabbage. They are starting Drury at first right now, though. Well, that's a challenge. That's a good call. Brandon Drury's good. Brandon Drury has given himself second life. I thought it'd be a fluke, but he's shown that he's made the adjustments, and this is who he is now. Brandon Drury's a legitimate major leaguer. Ben says, just saw the Edward Cabrera injury. Instant drop in NFBC 15-teamers. Nerve impingement. Oh, man. That's a real bummer, I have to say. I think Edward Cabrera was a guy that I waited on and I started this week. I was like, okay, well, you know, he's kind of day-to-day right now. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. But, yeah, he's on the IL, as you said. Nerve impingement, right shoulder. He's a right-hander. It's not good. This could be a problem. I think, yes, it's a drop. I do. Yep. Ben, I'm going to say that right here. I think at 15-teamers, you got to move on from Cabrera because there's just not enough time to wait around now. Even if this is only something that lasts a month, let's say he comes back next July, late July. Could give you 70 innings. You know, I hate to bring up the old bit. Maybe I'll change my tune on this. Because Jesus Luzardo last year, remember what happened with him? He comes back August 1st, pitches 77 innings of really good ball. That was useful. But people added him. A lot of people let Jesus Luzardo go because he was out from May until August 1st. That's too long to hold with no IL stash on NFBC. Again, now that's NFBC specific. Of course, if you have IL spots, you put Edward Cabrera in your IL spot, and you wait it out, and you hope for the best. But I think, Ben, I'm dropping Edward Cabrera no matter what, even if he can come back in a month. We don't even know. The timetable's uncertain. But right shoulder, nerve impingement, that is not... It's not pretty. It doesn't come out of my mouth. It doesn't flow in a way that makes me feel like, oh, that's not going to be a big deal. Doesn't sound good. But again, hey, stick to the injury experts on Twitter. They're the ones that'll fill you in. I'm funny. Chad says, that hot week for Shohei, by the way, he just added another dong to his week. Of course he did. He's Shohei. He is God when it comes to baseball. Oh, man, I'm bummed that we had to end the note on Edward Cabrera there. Oh, well. I'm sorry. Edward, hope you get healthy, get back to health. Maybe this is good news, though, for Trevor Rogers, by the way. I know he got moved to the 60-day IL, but he was already on the IL for a while, so it was more of it was semantics. It was a clerical issue at best. It doesn't mean he's going to be out forever. Also, Trevor Rogers' injury is related to his non-throwing shoulder. So why is it such a big deal? Is it that serious? It's his non-throwing shoulder. It must be more serious than I can understand, because I really think that Trevor Rogers was right there on the brink to come back. And Yuri Perez, even though he's been incredible, was going to be limited. But so now you got Edward Cabrera. He's toast. Yuri Perez is really good, but there's an innings cap. It's going to be a part of this. They're going to bench him or demote Yuri Perez. They are. It's going to happen here. I'd be shocked if they just keep letting him roll out there every week, knowing that Yuri Perez has been incredible. I know that. But hey, front office has their rules and their policies, and they're going to follow their plan. So I hope that maybe Trevor Rogers could get back in the mix here, but maybe that's wishful thinking on my part because I drafted Trevor Rogers like on every darn team I have this year, and it hasn't worked out. So I have to live with that for the rest of my days. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm Michael Govier. Follow me, Michael Govier. I'm going to talk like this. Follow me on Twitter at MJ Govier. Make sure you subscribe and Hulk smash the like button, of course, while you're here for the FTN Network YouTube channel, ftnfantasy.com. You know what time it is. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for being a part of the live chat, and I'll catch you next time.